this message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. If this week hasn't gone quite to plan, or you're beating yourself up about all the things that you'd hoped to do, that you said you'd do, and then couldn't do, I just wanted to drop in with a message that your best doesn't look the same every day. And I know a lot of us around here are definitely overachievers. We're so competitive, even just with ourselves. And it can be really easy to just keep piling on the pressure to get better, to get faster, to do more. And with that as our game plan, I've found that really productive days can actually be a bit of a double-edged sword. Good, because, look how much great stuff we've done, but also bad, because now we've raised the bar for ourselves. That whirlwind of productivity and results becomes something that we expect of ourselves every single day. And so in the times when we're tired or we're ill, or the days where actually things are just not really working and we don't know why, we take it really personally. We spiral, we get annoyed with ourselves and our circumstances, and we wish we could just push through. And I get that so many of us have been brought up with the message that if we want to be successful in life, we need to do our best. That we need to be able to look back at the end of the day, every day, and said we did all we could to get nearer to our goal. But we are not robots, and sometimes enough is enough. One of the things that someone told me last year that has made so much of a difference is that if it's worth doing, it's worth doing badly. And it was permission to just show up. Because creative things and things like languages that we're building from the ground up, things where we're starting from zero, they aren't like performing brain surgery. It's not perfection or nothing. It's better to be consistent and to show up as often as you can, giving 80% one day, 50% the next, 20% the day after, 70% after that, than it is to wait for those precious days when we can show up with 100%. Partly because, depending on our circumstances, those days can be rare, but more than that, a lot of progress happens on the days in between. In the same way, it's better to do a pretty decent workout a few times a week than it is to wait for that one auspicious day a month where you have tons of energy, the temperature is perfect, and the humidity levels please you. And I also want to make it clear here, this isn't a message that you should feel pressured to work at all costs or to work when you're running on empty. There are absolutely times when the right thing to do is to take the day off or the week off and rest. But what I want to say is, it's okay to show up for your new language when you're not feeling so great. It's just that on those days, you might need to work a little bit differently. It might look like giving yourself a really short, easy task that you can quickly tick off a list. It might be using a song or a TV clip as the basis for your study so it doesn't actually feel like work. It might be leaving the house and journaling in your language outside in nature, away from your desk. It might be bringing in more sensory stimulation or shutting some out if actually that's what's bothering you. It might be taking more breaks and having really small, really clear goals so that you know when to stop for the day. And one final tip that I've learned this year is that you know how on crowdfunding websites, people set their target for how much they want to raise to fund their project. And then if they exceed their target, they have extra stretch goals or bonus content that they'll create with the extra money. And I've found that that is a really sensible approach when it comes to your to-do lists as well. Because by creating that separation between your core to-do list, the non-negotiable stuff, essential, with the nice-to-haves that you can do on the days where you're full of energy, it stops your personal best today from becoming tomorrow's new normal. So go gently with yourselves today, language learners, and next week. Have a good weekend where you replenish yourself. And remember, language learning is absolutely a marathon and not a sprint. You cannot run at full speed the whole time, no matter how much you want to, no matter how fast you want to get there. So focus on doing one thing today that's going to help you feel like this week has been a success, that's going to get you a tiny step closer to your language goals. And then take a step back, let yourself rest, and celebrate what you've achieved. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday.